here. I gotta give my kid a bath, but I thought I'd show you guys some movies really quick. So last week I did Full Moon. The week before last I did Universal. So I've talked about Fred Dekker before because on my zombie episode I talked about Night of the Creeps, which is like a great movie. Fred Dekker followed Night of the Creeps up with Monster Squad. So I love the Universal monsters. This film came out 87, I think. This movie came out the same year I was born. And it came on, I saw it on HBO when I was about 5 years old. This was my introduction to the Universal monsters. And this is actually one of my favorite children's movies. And I love it as an adult, but I just think this is such a cool movie. And it didn't do very well when it came out. But now that all the people that were watching this when they were kids are adults, it's a very popular horror flick. I know a lot of people who like the Monster Squad. You could consider it a classic nowadays. And I waited a long time for this to come out on DVD. I remember I was really excited for this, and then Night of the Creeps came out a couple years later because this did so well. That's a fantastic movie. So yeah, I got that in 2007. 20 years after it came out, finally came out on DVD. Another great Universal series is Jaws. I don't own the original Jaws. I love Jaws. It's like one of my favorite movies, but I really like Jaws 2 as well. And when I was a kid, the Jaws: The Revenge was one of my favorite movies. That movie's insane. I still like it, but it's so bad. But yeah, I really like the Jaws series. Jaws 2 is great. Jaws 2 is like a slasher movie with a giant shark, which that's fucking cool. Going back to the Universal monsters, I love Frankenstein. Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman is a great movie. A couple years ago, this movie came out called Frankenstein versus the Mummy. I had the original release of this, but I gave it to my baby's mom's mom because she really liked it, so I let her have it. So I picked this up. The Frankenstein theory is not good, but I highly recommend Frankenstein versus the Mummy. It's a great movie. The commentary on that's awful though. I have more another Cronenberg film I'd like to talk about on a different episode, but Scanners is probably my second favorite Cronenberg movie. I dig this movie. I like Cronenberg, man. Cronenberg's a weirdo. He does a lot with the body. He likes to fuck with flesh, and I dig that. What is it, Videodrome? I'm not a big Videodrome fan, but that's a cool movie too. The one with James Wood. Am I saying that right? Videodrome? But Scanners is cool. It's like psychics blowing each other's heads up. One of my oldest DVDs. I got Chud here, ladies and gentlemen. This is one of the first movies I ordered off of Amazon. No, I think I actually got this at Suncoast. I don't know. It's fucking fantastic. One of my favorite things about this DVD, and the reason I recommend picking it up on DVD, is the commentary on here is great. I love Daniel Stern. I love all those guys. It's a great movie. John Hurd. It's a good movie. It's about zombies coming up from the sewers and attacking people in New York. So while we're on the trail of 80s gold, fantastic movie is, I have a bootleg of it. I apologize. I got Blood Diner. This is out on DVD now, I think, though. I have another copy of it somewhere over here. But, such a good movie. It's so insane. I could describe it to you. I could go into details, but you just gotta check it out. It's about cannibals trying to bring back an Egyptian goddess, and they're using women to build this goddess. And it's so over the top and silly and weird, but I'm happy I have that. Getting out of the 80s and going into the 90s, one of my favorite movies, I've talked about this before. A lot of people who've seen it are like, Andrew, this isn't a good movie. I still love it. Brain Scan. From the 90s, as a video game guy, and a movie guy, and a horror movie guy, this is awesome. It's a kid. It plays this virtual reality game. It's actually a game that hypnotizes him. he starts to realize, he starts to wonder if the game is making him do stuff in real life, or if it's the game, or it's really cool. And the main bad guy in this is the guy on the front here. It's a cool movie. A lot of people hate that movie though. Whenever I bring it up, usually people laugh at me. Who have actually are in the know, you know. You know? Are you in the know? This is a cool movie. Manborg. There's a lot of stop motion, a lot of effects and stuff, a lot of practical effects that I enjoy. But they did a lot of green screen stuff too. But it was done right, and it's very independent. There's like a lot of tribute to '90s stuff, and a lot of because in the '90s they were doing a lot of tribute stuff to like the '70s and the '80s. The people that grew up then were making stuff in the '90s, and I feel like the '90s kind of was like. '90s sucked for horror movies, but they're still really good horror. Like the horror that did make it out was really solid, and a lot of the movies in the '90s, I feel like they perfected things. The '70s were very gritty and rough. The '80s was over the top and extra gory, and we were really getting good with special effects. I feel like the '90s was just like, wow, that's really good. From that point on, I feel like we've just been doing remakes and rehashes, and it's very Disneyfied. It's very Disney-like shit now coming out. Everybody's copying something. Nobody's trying to do anything original. So this isn't original. It's fucking them paying tribute to Mortal Kombat and all that shit. But it is original in the way that it looks and with its aesthetics. I really appreciate this director. They did a short, and I wish it was on this DVD, but it's not. I don't think. Yes, it is. It is on this DVD. BioCop. Look up BioCop. I think there's a YouTube video of it now. Great stuff. Who's in my house?